Dear learners, today we are going to deal about computer crime. Introduction. As internet usage is growing day by day, the world is becoming closer, which has led to computer crime. Computer crime, especially through the internet, has developed that hardly a hamlet remains anywhere in the world being not touched, as the computer has become central to commerce, entertainment and government. Laws concerning computer crimes have been enacted which deals with a broad range of criminal offences committed using a computer. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, one can be able to explore the history of computer or cybercrime and to define it. Come to know about what are the examples of cybercrime and the reasons behind it. Recognize the types of cybercrime and the criminals, how to prevent them from being attacked by cybercrime. Be aware of the cyber laws and the act passed against cybercrime. Understand the need of cyber law and why it is needed in India. History of computer or cybercrime. When computers and networks came into existence in the 1990s, hacking was done just to gather more information about these systems. Since the hackers competed against one another to win the tag of the best hacker, many networks were affected from the military to commercial organizations. At the initial stage, hacking was considered as mere nuisance because they did not pose a long-term threat, but with malicious software becoming ubiquitous, hackers became more skillful, exploiting and victimizing others. Due to the early and widespread adoption of computers and the internet in the US, the earliest victims and villains of cybercrime were Americans. Defining cybercrime. New technologies create new criminal opportunities, one of them being the digital computer, but technology alone is insufficient for criminal activity. Criminals don't need a computer to commit fraud or violate someone's privacy. Computer crime involving the internet is an extension of existing criminal behavior along with some novel illegal activities. Computer crime, also known as cybercrime, is an attack on information about individuals, corporations or governments. In the digital age, our virtual identities are essential elements of everyday life, where we are a bundle of numbers and identifiers in multiple computer databases owned by governments and corporations, which are hacked through networks known as cybercrime. A generalized definition of cybercrime is unlawful acts wherein the computer is either a tool or target or both. Computer as a tool. Financial crimes, sale of illegal articles, pornography, online gambling, intellectual property crime, email spoofing, forgery, and computer as a target, unauthorized access to computer, theft of information contained in the electronic form, email bombing, Trojan attacks, internet time thefts, webjacking, theft of computer system, physically damaging the computer system. The examples of computer crimes are: the computer crime includes improperly accessing a computer system or network and modifying, damaging, using, disclosing, copying programs or data, introducing a virus into a computer system, interfering with or stealing an information service from a provider. The reasons for computer crime. The reasons for the computer that is exposed to the chance of being attacked are: storage of data. The computer has a unique characteristic of storing data in a very small space which affords to delete or retrieve information either through physical or virtual medium more easily. Accessibility. The problem confronted in guarding a computer system from unauthorized access is not due to human error, but due to the complex technology like logic bomb that can steal access codes, advanced voice recorders, retina images, etc. that can fool security systems. Complexity. The computer's fundamental is the operating system, which is composed of millions of codes. Human mind is capable of making mistakes which become an advantage to the cyber criminals to penetrate into the computer system. Loss of sufficient attention. Negligence or loss of sufficient attention provides a cyber criminal to gain access and control over the computer system. Loss of evidence. Loss of evidence is a very common and obvious problem, as all the data are routinely destroyed, which paralyzes the system of crime investigation. The types of computer or cybercrime. There are many types of cybercrime, that is, crime committed over the internet, and the most common ones are hacking. Hacking is said to be done when an individual's computer is broken into that so that his personal or sensitive information can be accessed. In hacking, the criminal uses a wide range of software to enter an individual's computer, and the person may not be aware that his computer is being accessed from a remote location. Cyberstalking. Cyberstalking refers to the crime that makes use of the internet, email to stalk, harass or threaten another by sending harassing emails, instant or text messages or social media posts for the sole purpose of torturing the victim. A cyberstalker may be someone the victim is familiar with or a stranger, and is a criminal offence since it includes threats, solicitation for sex, false accusations, defamations, etc. Theft. Theft is a type of crime that occurs when a person violates copyrights and downloads music, movies, games and software, and there are laws addressing it to prevent people from illegal downloading. Identity theft. Nowadays, people use the internet for cash transactions and banking services, which favors a criminal to access data about a person's bank account, credit cards, debit card and other sensitive information, which causes major financial losses for the victim and even spoil the victim's credit history. Malicious software. Malicious software are referred to as the internet based software or programs that are used to disrupt a network by gaining access to a system to steal sensitive information or damage the software present in the system. Child soliciting and abuse. Child soliciting is a type of crime wherein criminals solicit minors via chat rooms for the purpose of child pornography. The Federal Bureau of Investigation spent a lot of time monitoring chat rooms frequently by children with the hope of reducing and preventing child abuse and soliciting. Email bombing refers to sending large numbers of mail to the victim, ultimately resulting into crashing. Data diddling. Data diddling refers to the altering of raw data before a computer processes it and changing it back after the processing is completed. Salami attacks. Salami attacks are common in financial institutions since in this type of offense the alteration is so small that it would be normally go unnoticed. Example, a logic bomb when introduced in the bank system deducts 10 cents from every account and deposit it in a particular account. Denial of service attack. The victim's computer is flooded with more requests than it can handle, which causes crashing. Virus or worm attacks. Viruses are programs that attach themselves to a computer or a file which are then circulated to other files or computers on a network to affect the data on a computer either by altering or deleting it. Worms make functional copies of themselves until they eat up all the available space on a computer's memory. Trojan attacks. Trojan attacks refer to an unauthorized program which passively gains control over someone else's system by representing itself as an authorized program. Webjacking. Webjacking refers to the offenses where the hacker gains access and control over the website of another, mutilate or change the information on the site for fulfilling political objectives or for money. Categories of cybercrime. Cybercrimes are classified into 3 categories based on the crime against individual, property, government. Each category uses a variety of methods and the methods used vary from one another. Individual. This category of crime can be in the form of cyber stalking, distributing pornography, trafficking and grooming, which the law enforcement agencies are taking very seriously and are joining forces internationally to reach and arrest the offender. Property. The digital world, criminals resort to steal and rob by means of computer. This category involves stealing a person's bank details and siphon of money, misuse the credit card for online purchases, use malicious software to gain access to an organization's website or damage software and hardware. Government. This category of computer crime is also referred to as cyber terrorism and, if successful, can wreak havoc and cause panic amongst the civilian population. They hack government websites, military websites or circulate propaganda where the offenders can be terrorist outfits or unfriendly governments of other nations. The cyber perpetrators. The cyber perpetrators can be categorized as follows: children and adolescents between 6 to 18 years. The children in this age group are curious to know and explore things and to prove themselves to be outstanding amongst other children in their group. Organized hackers. The hackers are organized together to fulfill certain activities subjected to political bias, fundamentalism, etc. The Pakistanis are one of the best quality hackers in the world, mainly targeting the Indian government sites with the purpose to fulfill their political objectives. Professional hackers. The professional hackers are mostly employed to hack the site of the rivals and get credible, reliable and valuable information by cracking the system of the employer, basically as a measure to make it safer by detecting the loopholes. Discontented employees. This group include those people who are dissatisfied with their employer and to avenge they normally hack the system of their employee. How to tackle cybercrime? The cyber criminals have a loose network wherein they collaborate and cooperate with one another, do not fight with each other for supremacy, work together to improve their skills and help out each other with new opportunities. The methods and technology used by cyber criminals keep changing too quickly for law enforcement agencies to be effective, though they try to keep pace with cyber criminals. It proves to be a Herculean task, hence commercial institutions and government organizations need to look for effective ways to safeguard themselves. The cross-domain solutions provide the best security solutions for organizations because they can ensure that exchange of information adheres to security protocols. It allows organizations to use a unified system which encompasses both software and hardware, authenticates both manual and automatic transfer and access of information which it takes place when it takes place between different levels of security classification. Seamless sharing and access of information within a specific security classification is possible only for users who are a part of the security classification to safeguard the network and the systems using the network. Cross-domain solution provides solutions to keep all information confidential by making use of safe and secure domains that cannot be tracked or accessed. It is commonly used by commercial and governmental organizations to make sure of impenetrable network while still making sure that the users can get access to the required information easily. Prevention of computer crime. Prevention is better than cure. Precaution, prevention, protection, preservation and perseverance are the 5 mantras for online security. Each and everyone who uses internet should keep in mind the following things. Don't disclose your identity to strangers in public place to avoid cyber stalking. Avoid sending any photograph online, particularly to strangers, as they can misuse the photographs. Use the latest and updated antivirus software to guard against virus attacks. Always back up volumes to prevent data loss in case of virus contamination. Don't ever share your credit card number to any site that is not secured to guard against frauds. Have an eye on the sites that your children are accessing to prevent any kind of harassment or deprivation in children. Prefer a security program that gives control over the cookies and send information back to the site, since leaving the cookies unguarded might prove fatal. The owners of the website should watch for traffic and check any irregularity on the site. Firewalls can be used since proved beneficial. The web servers running public sites must be separated and protected from internal corporate network. Computer or cyber crime law. Cyber crimes can involve criminal activities that are subjected to the Indian Penal Code for the abuse of computers, for giving birth to a gamut of new age crimes that are addressed by the Information Technology Act 2000. The law deals with a wide range of criminal offences committed using a computer which is perpetrated online. Laws concerning computer crimes have been enacted at both state and federal levels as internet technology has advanced, and it continues to form the basis of federal prosecutions of computer related criminal activities. In 1986, Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, known as CFAA, was amended, followed by Electronic Communications Privacy Act (ECPA), Identity Theft Enforcement and Restitution Act of 2008 ITERA. Why cyber law in India? When Internet was in the developing stage, the founders of Internet didn't have any inclination that Internet could transform itself into a part of any revolution which could be misused for criminal activities and which would demand regulation. Due to the anonymous nature of the Internet, it is possible for criminals to engage into a variety of criminal activities and secure themselves from any reprisal of an action. People with the capacity of mind, especially with the ability to comprehend, have been grossly misusing this aspect of the Internet to perpetuate criminal activities in cyberspace. Due to the above reasons, cyber laws are strongly needed in India. Importance of cyber law. Cyber law is significant since it has touched almost every aspect of transactions and activities on and concerning the Internet, the World Wide Web and cyberspace. Whether we realized it or not, cyber law is a very technical field. Every action and every reaction in cyberspace has some legal and cyber legal perspectives. As the nature of Internet is changing rapidly and it is being seen as the ultimate medium ever involved in a human history, every activity in cyberspace would have a cyber legal perspective. From the time of registering the domain name to the time the website is set up, to the time website is promoted, to the time the electronic commerce transactions are carried out on the said site, at every point of time there are various cyber law issues involved. Each and everyone who are utilizing the Internet will have to tighten their belts and take note of cyber law for their own benefit. Cyber Law Awareness Program. Are the electronic transactions legal and authentic? Are the customers' identities verified to prevent identity theft? Are the online terms and conditions having binding effect? Is appropriate information provided for forming and concluding the online transactions? Is data protection and information security ensured on the website, and how? Transacting on the Internet has wide legal implications as it alters the traditional methods of doing business and is automated online. Thus, to endure relationships with the online customers, the legal issues of e-transactions need to be addressed from the onset. Advantages of cyber laws. The IT Act 2000 takes a run at the outdated laws to change them and provide ways to deal with cyber crimes. People are strongly in need of cyber laws so that they can perform purchase transactions over the net through credit cards without fear of misuse. The IT Act offers the much needed legal framework so that information is maintained in the form of electronic records. Due to the rapid growth in transactions and communications carried out online, the Act solicits the government departments to accept filing, creating and retention of official documents in the digital format. The Act has also forthput a legal framework for the authentication and origin of electronic records and communications through digital signature. From the perspective of e-commerce in India, the IT Act 2000 and its provisions contain many positive aspects so that the company shall be able to carry out electronic commerce using the legal infrastructure provided by the Act. The digital signatures have been given legal validity and sanction in the Act, opening the doors for the entry of cooperative companies in the business of being certifying authorities for issuing digital signature certificates. The Act now allows government to herald e-governance by issuing specific information on the web, thus enabling the companies to file any form or document with any office, agency owned or controlled by the appropriate government in electronic form, by means of such electronic form as may be prescribed by the appropriate government. The IT Act also skillfully manages the important issues of security which are very much critical to the success of electronic transactions. The Act has given a legal definition to the concept of secure digital networks, so that under the IT Act 2000, it is now possible for the corporate to have a statutory remedy in case if anyone breaks into their computer systems or network and cause loss or damage to the data. The remedy provided by the IT Act is in the form of monetary damages which does not exceed rupees 1 crore. With no doubt, the Act is a historical step in the cyber world, but there is a need to bring the changes in Information Technology Act to make it more effective to combat cybercrime. It should be kept in mind that the provisions of the cyber law are not made so stringent that it may retard the growth of the industry and prove to be counterproductive. Conclusion: history is the witness that no legislation can totally eliminate crime from the globe. Since the capacity of human mind is unfathomable, it is hard to eliminate cybercrime from the cyberspace, but quite possible to check them continuously. The only possible step is to create awareness among people of their rights and duties, and further making the application of the laws more stringent to check crime.